A-D ladies, A and G-E gentlemen, T-H-I, this is Jason Becker, T-H-E, the S-E-X, sexiest, M-A, man, alive.
Andrew, I know you're a big Van Halen fan, so presumably you've known about Jason Becker for decades now.
I have to say it was the first time I heard of him, but when I sat down to watch the film. Not a huge Van Halen fan, but I mean, I think the thing to say about this film is it's a very obviously heart-rending story, which is very simply boiled down to the fact that this guy was on the verge of a sort of a good career as a guitarist, not as an Eddie Van Halen level guy, but as a sort of Steve Vai kind of guy, one of these sort of guest guitarist type blokes. And it was obviously taken away from him by this kind of awful disease, Lou Gehrig's disease. From a purely filmmaking point of view, there's some odd things about it. One is the fact that they start off with a shot of Jason as he is now, and then don't come back to him for about an hour in the film. They spend a lot of time talking about 80s hair metal and how great he was, and the film gets around to talking to him. He proves himself to be a sort of very lively, witty kind of guy.
Peter, it's an inherently moving story about an extraordinary life. Does that make it an extraordinary film?
I'm not sure it makes it an extraordinary film. I think it's good and refreshing that it rescues this kind of story from straightforward Route 1 tragedy. I like the way that it didn't. There's a sort of never say die aspect to the film. It's not a tragedy. The emphasis is on the positive outcome that even though he was, devastatingly diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease, and of course it had a devastating effect on his career, through an extraordinary dedication he reinvented himself as a composer, effectively. It's odd that the film doesn't say that out loud, but a composer is what he is now.
There's a very poignant moment where he's composing, but he's looking at the guitar that's mounted on the wall that he can no longer play to kind of get the notes in his head.
I mean, I don't know really anything. I mean, I can't judge how good a composer he is, or what this kind of what musical presence he has, or is he composing work that other people want to play, for example. But there's no doubt about it. It's good and interesting and kind of remedial for all of us that this narrative has been rescued from grand tragedy.